Warning, the following video is going to f***ing blow your mind. If you like any of it and or enjoy this picture, please hit the like button below. Thank you. Hey guys, what is up? It is Brad Wheelan, also known as JimmyJ57, and I hope you guys were watching that PS4 conference last night. I thought it was pretty cool, but I'm just going to do a recap today of what I thought was cool, pros, cons, whatever, just everything in between. So, let's start out with the first thing they revealed, the controller. Now, this controller is pretty cool. It is confirmed that there is a share button on it, so that's going to be awesome, being able to upload your clips and stuff. But they only mentioned uploading them to Ustream, I believe. It's called Ustream, and nothing about YouTube or Twitch, which I'm assuming YouTube and Twitch are going to be in there because they're the two biggest streaming and video networks that there are. YouTube is the biggest, so they would obviously have that because they don't want to take out that feature. I think they just didn't want to give away free advertising while they were there. They just want to advertise their own Ustream kind of thing. But I think those will come in time, especially with third-party applications for it. Like they will come, but they just didn't reveal it there. And also on the controller, I think it's actually a lot different. Even though people are like, "Oh, it's the exact same controller," blah blah blah. But I think that it's kind of cool with the touchpad. I'm not exactly sure what it can be used for yet, like what you'll actually be able to do in every single game, or if it can be every single game. But it does look interesting, and I'm willing to try it out when I get PS4 in the holiday of 2013. Now I'm guessing that means Christmas, but I'm not sure if that means like summer vacation. I guess they would have said summer 2013, so I'm going to say it's coming out Christmas, which makes sense. So it is kind of late. It'd be better if it came out like E3 kind of time, but hey, whatever. What are you going to do? I'm still going to get it either way, so it doesn't really make a big difference. And yeah, so the touchpad looks cool. I also like the new concave analog sticks. Those look really, really nice. That they'll be easier to hold, and you almost don't need control freaks anymore to give you that concave feel on a PS3 controller. So the Dualshock 4 also comes with the new triggers. They look better developed now than the other triggers on the other PS3 DualShock or whatever, the DualShock 3. So I think the triggers look new, and that looks better, and also just the whole controller looks bulkier, and just a little bit of tweaking and redesigning, which can make a difference. And I know how a lot of people do not like the PS3 controller. I've been using it my whole life, the DualShock, so I have no problem with it, even though I have big hands. People complain about it being too small all the time. I have no problem with it. But I can see why converting from the fat Xbox controller down to the PS3 controller, it does make a difference, and I can see why people complain, but I think this one will be a nice median right in between, so it should be pretty good. And so that's all for the controller. Now for the console, they didn't release anything. They talked about all the hardware, all the specs, all the new firmware, software, whatever is going to be in it. But they did not actually reveal an actual image of a console or even one for us. Like, we didn't even get to see what it looks like, which is kind of disappointing. But yet again, it is going to be a mystery, and now people are still going crazy over it. Like, I know a lot of people are trashing Sony now just because they didn't reveal their console at the conference there, but still, it's creating a lot of mystery and a lot more hype for their company for when they actually do release the images of their console. So it was almost a good idea and a bad idea on Sony's part, but I'm still intrigued to find out what it looks like, so I'm not losing interest yet. So that's going to be cool. Further actual software for it that they showed, the new sharing and how you can watch your friends in game, that I think is pretty cool. I like how you can also virtually pass off your controller to someone. I think that is pretty awesome. Like, I don't know how much I'm actually going to use this, especially for first-person shooter games. It might not be as used as maybe for racing game, action games, adventure games, where like you can actually go in and help with their level or something. But when you're playing online, like first-person shooters, it just makes no sense, and nobody really plays the campaign other than when they first get the game. So I don't really see the big use for it in first-person shooters. But for any other type of games, I can see it definitely being used. I'm definitely going to try it. It looks pretty cool. And like the chat rooms on the side where people can give you tips, I think that's interesting. Like, I don't find them too distracting. Like, already like the pop-up messages for like when a friend's online or when a friend sends you a game invite. Like I don't find that too distracting. So if there's like a tip menu there or whatever, people giving you tips, like I don't have a problem with that. That seems like it could be helpful or cool. Yet again, first-person shooters, I don't see the need for it, just because you kind of just play your own style. You don't really in-game like, oh, throw a grenade now, and someone's like, oh, okay, I'll throw my grenade. Like, I don't see the use for tips in that game in that regard. But for yet again, for action adventure games, you like say to your friend, oh, go take this route up to the left or something, and then they can beat the level or something like that. Like that seems like it'd work out really well. So. I think they're trying to appeal to all types of games here with their new stuff, even though first-person shooter is the most common genre of games. So I think it is a pretty good idea. And then when they brought out Gigitech or whatever their company name is about the cloud gaming and how they're talking about all the new streaming games and stuff, I think that's pretty cool. Yet again, it is only good for people with a high-speed internet, which I have, so I don't see it as a problem. I think it'll be really cool, and can't wait for that to release. And I'll definitely be trying all the features on this PS4 when I get it. So that seems pretty cool. You can download it and play it as the rest keeps downloading. Like that is definitely what they needed to do, even though it's not going to be available to everyone just because of the internet speeds. They definitely needed to cover this because it is a very I need it now, I need it now, I need it now society. So if we don't get stuff right away and we have to wait a whole 4 minutes for like a update to download, like a 50 megabyte update or like something like that, people just like they're like, oh my god, I can't play my game yet. They get all mad. So I think that's definitely good. And also the thing that impressed me most is how the console never actually shuts off and you just basically put it on standby or sleep mode like your computer, which I think is awesome because I do that with my computer all the time. I'll just like pause my game, put it on sleep, and then I'll come back. So I think that is awesome. Now let's talk about some games here. Now the games that really impressed me were Watch Dogs and Destiny. Now if anyone watches the show Person of Interest, Watch Dogs looks almost exactly like that show. I'm not going to go into much detail about it, but you're basically like this agent guy and you can just like control the whole city in Watch Dogs, and it's just like a free to play roaming whatever kind of game. So I think that game looks sick. It looks so awesome. It's like a GTA, Assassin's Creed, everything put together like that. So I'm definitely going to get that game. And then Destiny with Bungie creating it, that's awesome. It's basically like the PS4 version of Halo. I think that's going to be sweet. Just all the graphics for that game when they were showing it and the whole space theme, everything. It was just so cool. Like, it was pretty awesome. I think that game is going to be a big seller. It might almost be a COD killer. I don't know. But with the other games that they showed, Drive Club and Knack, I believe. There's probably some other ones I can't remember now. But I think these were good games. But I know they showed Knack first, and I was happy about it. Like I know the guy was enthusiastic about it, so it made me excited about it too. But yet again, Knack is a very family-looking game. Like even though at the start it's like a battle and Knack has to come save whatever, it does look like a very family-oriented game, almost like the Lego games with Little Big Planets and that kind of stuff. So it looks more family-oriented. And I should throw another gameplay in here. I'm still talking, but yeah, sorry about using the Tanner Tuesdays gameplay, but that's just the way it is. I didn't have time to make another one, so this is how it's gonna work. And so yeah, the Knack gameplay looked too kiddish almost, but the Drive Club gameplay or trailer, I guess you'd call it, did actually interest me. How it's gonna be more of a friends with friends kind of game, almost how you have to play your different roles in this racing game and actually like help each other out instead of just like full out racing. You're like a one-man team, one-man army kind of thing. Like I think that's cool, but the only thing is, what do you do when you don't play with friends? Do you have like computers doing the different parts or something? Like I love how they're making it more social with the share button and all that great stuff, but certain games people play alone and they don't have friends or anything, or you play it offline, so you just can't play with friends. So in that regard, I don't see how it's going to work, but if they have like two different sides to the game almost, like a normal racing side and then they have the co-op kind of racing side, I can see where it'd work out fine. They just have to think of these things and actually put them in the game. So overall, I think it was a pretty good conference. Disappointed that they didn't actually reveal the PS4. But they talked a lot about it, how the whole computer set up for the processor, GPU, all that great stuff. It's going to be super powerful. We all know that. And I don't think there's going to be as big as a gap, or not, I guess it wasn't really a big gap, but between the Xbox 360 and the PS3, the whole, like, PS3 had Blu-ray disc thing and stuff, where it's supposed to be more high definition and that kind of stuff, but I don't think there's going to be as big as a gap now, because Xbox 720 or Xbox 3, whatever they're calling it now, is moving over to Blu-ray disc, so there won't really be that excuse, I guess you could call it, because they pretty much had the exact same graphics in the last gen consoles. So this is my recap for the whole conference. I hope you guys liked it. Please subscribe and like below if you actually watched this far. And remember guys, have a good day.